welcome. This is Frank Mahoney's Racer Profile. I'm the host today, Jess Heitman, and we're here today at Portland International Raceway for a Team Continental Driver School. With me today is Phil Rice. Phil, welcome to the program here.
How you doing?
This is kind of Phil's first attempt at driving a race car. Just to give you a quick little background here, we've worked on this car most of the winter and gone completely through the car, rebuilt everything, and Phil's trying to get a little bit of experience here driving. So Phil, why don't you just give us a quick idea of kind of what prompted you to ever want to race a car and a little bit of experience in that area.
Well, I came out to the track this last summer and watched the Formula V's run, and it looked like it was pretty exciting. So I started talking to Jess here about it, got a little more involved in what was going on. We found myself a car, put it together, and here I am. My first session was last week out on the track, and there's a lot to learn when you're just beginning, and it's very, very exciting.
Well, thank you, Phil. It is quite exciting. I know that we've had a group of people out here today that's must be 50 people at least taking this class, and we're going to try to go around, interview a few of them, and find out just what got them started and what they plan on getting out of it. I know this is not just for people with race cars. It's for people with street cars, people that just want to enhance their driving ability on the street. You do not need to own a race car or anything else. You can come out and do this with a street car as long as it's in reasonably good condition. I think that it's of great benefit to the person who doesn't want to race, because it gives you a lot better coordination in a vehicle, and it'll maybe possibly help you avoid accidents in the street.
Stay off the yellow tomorrow. That's real important, okay? It's extremely slick even in the dry. We don't want to take a chance on you going off the track. The grass is going to be wet. Even if it doesn't rain tonight or tomorrow, it's still going to be wet. Please stay on the track. Don't go off the track and hit something and ruin your day. And ruin your instructor's day, okay? All right. Where's that steering wheel? When you're driving, keep both hands on the wheel except when you shift. Thumbs. Don't go like this. Okay? I am a great one for this. If my student is driving like this, I will take and reach over and peel their thumb off and put it on the wheel like this. You don't drive like this, you drive like this. And there's a reason for that. If you do go off track or if you hit something and your thumbs are like this and you hit something with the front of your car, you're going to break your thumb. Okay? It's strictly for your safety, and it'll make your instructor feel better. Okay? You'll put that back in your BMW.
Okay, run to the cherry.
Okay, heel and toe. Please don't feel that you're out there going to a school tomorrow and you have to learn how to heel and toe. Heel and toe are for people who are past the beginner stage only. Don't feel that this is your first school tomorrow and you have to go out there and learn everything that Paul Tracy knows, including how to crash into walls and stuff, right? Okay. You don't have to learn how to heel and toe. You don't have to learn how to drive fast. This is a driver's school. It's not a speed contest. We want you here the next time. We want you to have a good time. We want you to learn. We don't want you to go out there and have a bad day and never show up again. We want you to come back. We want you to have fun. Okay? Watch your mirrors. Watch your mirrors. If you're going into a turn and you find yourself in trouble, you don't want to turn like this, have the rear end come around, and then turn like this, try to correct, and you're broadside and have somebody hit you. Know who's behind you. If you're in trouble, slow down the best you can. Like one of our best instructors said, slow down, drive off the track, keep slowing down, come back on safely. Okay? Don't, try not to panic. I won't say don't. Okay? On our track, I've been off every single turn. I've been racing 10 years, I've been off every single turn. I know where the limits are. Okay? Be careful tomorrow. It's going to be wet. Don't find out where the limit is. Wait until you've had another school or two. Okay? Pardon me, Richard?
It's not going to be wet.
But the grass will be and the ground will be. Trust me.
Budget weather every weekend.
Okay.
It's extremely wet out.
Trust me.
No wonder.
The ground is going to be damp. Okay. When you're out there driving, you've always heard the old axiom, full on the gas or hard on the brake. Not necessarily true when you're taking a driver's school. We are not racers yet. Learn how to drive the car, how to control the car. When you come out of turn 9, if you're full on the gas and you're driving a Corvette or a GT1 Camaro, if you're full on the gas, you may find yourself into the wall. It'll ruin your instructor's day. Don't do that. He won't like it. Okay? Be smooth. Smooth is the key to being a good driver. You go in slow, you come out fast. That is smoothness going through the turn. You'll find your instructor showing you how to go through turn 1, turn 1A, turn 1B. Okay, there's actually 2 turns in turn 1. He will show you how, when you enter turn 1, you turn the steering wheel, you set your car up, and that steering wheel will be in the same place as you exit turn 1B. When you go into turn 1A, it's a turn, and then if you look alongside the berm or the inside curbing as you take your track walk, you'll find that it turns, and then all of a sudden it goes straight for a little while, and then turns again. We call that turn 1A and 1B. That's actually 2 turns, but they call it turn 1. You'll find your instructor telling you or showing you how to go in, you turn your steering wheel, and the steering wheel stays there until you exit turn 1B. That's smoothness. Be smooth tomorrow and you will not go off the track because your instructor will show you how to be smooth. Okay? Be smooth on shifting. I was a drag racer for about 15 years where we never let off on the gas. We just power shifted, okay? That was back when the big horsepower, I used to run a 409 shift. That was back in the 60s when I used to run what was called SS, which was super stock. It was just before Dick Landy came out with the funny cars with the rear axle set forward a couple of feet, it seemed like. Front end come off the ground, all that. All we did was hold the gas to the floor and then just bang gears. This is not a drag race in that sense. It is a race for speed and time, but be smooth on your shifting. Take time shifting. Make sure that when that car is in 4th gear, that's in 4th gear before you let your clutch out. If you break your transmission, then you DNF, which is did not finish. I've had over 100 races I've DNF'd twice. I pride myself in being smooth. I pride myself in preparing the car, making sure it's safe before it's on the track. You have to do that. The name of the game is to finish. You have to finish. In order to be a finisher, you have to be safe, and you have to have a well-prepared car. Okay. Let's see, that was that one. Let's see. Tire pressures. Anybody talk about where are you going to have your tire pressures at tomorrow?
34 and 34.
34 and 34. What do you drive?
A Mazda RX-2.
Mazda RX-2. Who drives a front drive car here? What do you drive? A Honda. Is it a street car? It's a race car? You're running on radials? You guess so. Whatever came with the car. Now we have a problem here, folks. What are you going to have your tire pressure on? You know? 35 and 30. Okay.
must not be running news.
Talk to your instructor first thing in the morning. What I would suggest you do is, on the tire it tells you what the pressure is, okay? It says like 32 pounds fully inflated or whatever it says. I would strongly...
inflation at maximum weight.
This
is a tire salesman.
I would strongly suggest that you see what that says, pump it up by about 5 pounds, talk to your instructor in the morning, and he will tell you how much air to let out. Don't come to the track underinflated. Your tires, I mean. We got a chart. No. Rich?
Well, I would recommend for starters for people that are driving, factory-built cars that are running on street tires, that they run maybe a little over, but try to run the factory recommended tire pressures for that vehicle. Right. You'll find a lot of vehicles because of the weight, because of the where the engine is placed, the weight of the vehicle front to rear. Tire pressures vary a lot from manufacturer to manufacturer, and I found it's real important. And if your instructor tells you different, if they know, if they see your car, they're going to be detecting your car, and they're going to be looking it over. If your instructor tells you different, then listen to your instructor. But just for starters, at least for the street vehicles, tire pressures make a big difference, and manufacturers know that your car will handle best if you're running on wheels, street tires, the right size street tires in some cases. Tire pressures make a big difference.
Okay.
In the way the car will handle.
Thanks, Red.
So long as no other modifications have been made.
Okay. Whatever it says, pump it up a little bit. Have your instructor help you with that. That's extremely important tomorrow, is to have your tire pressures close to what they should be for the vehicle that you're driving. Okay? Fuel. How many people are going to run a quarter tank because it makes their car lighter? No? How many are going to run a full tank gas tomorrow? I would advise that strongly. Run a full tank. That way, you'll have the maximum weight in your car, and you'll have the worst scenario on how to handle your car when it's at its heaviest. Okay? Don't run just the bare minimum and embarrass yourself by running out of gas. Okay? Okay. Back to this side. Where am I at here? Okay. Between sessions. What are you going to do between sessions? What are you going to do, Charlie?
Take 5, rest.
Good for you. What I would suggest is that you not only rest, but you observe other drivers. Go down to the wall there, down to the hot pit area, into turn 9 and 10, right where you're lining up. Watch other drivers that are driving a car similar to yours and see the lines that they take. Okay? That way you not only have your instructor to help you, but you have other drivers help you too. And if they make a mistake, maybe that'll help you not make that mistake. Okay?
Might be a better view if they actually go sit up in the grandstand.
Up in the grandstands is good. You can see them coming through 7, 8, 9, and how they come out of 9, 10 area. Okay? Okay, what's everybody going to do after they get out of here tonight? Besides to say, thank God we're done. Okay, what I would suggest is that I know it's getting late, folks. It's 9 o'clock. I promised myself I'd be out of here by then. Go to bed early tonight. Okay? Try to get some rest. In the morning when you get up, please try to eat something, even if it's toast. If you aren't a morning eating type person, try, chocolate milk or a glass of milk or something. Try to have something in your stomach. It'll make you less nervous as you go out there. Right, exactly. Feed the brain. Try to get something. Instant breakfast, I don't care. Try to get something besides just black coffee. It'll really help you, trust me. Let's see, almost done here. Okay.
One more.
No, I've got 3 more things here. Every driving instructor started out, how many schools have you had? None. Good man. Every driving instructor started out just like this guy right here, just like I did 10 years ago. First school, didn't know ship from China, excuse my language. And all of a sudden, You know, you can drive a race car if that's what you want to do. Not everybody here has designs to be a famous race car driver. Some people want to come here just like I advise people to do. If you can take your car out on a track and drive it safely at 80 miles an hour and learn how to do that, then you can drive out on the highway at 55 or 70 miles an hour and be safer. Be able to observe possible problems that's going to happen out on the freeway. To me, that is going to maybe help save my life someday. Maybe you're driving just ahead of me and you see something happening way down the street and I'm right behind you and you react and I'm watching you and all of a sudden my life's saved because, you know, you guys took a driving school or something. I mean, that's pretty melodramatic, but what I'm trying to say is not everybody wants to be a race car driver. Some people want to come out here and just learn how to control their car. I think that's great. I think that's a good attitude. Okay? Okay. Any driver has a problem tomorrow with their instructor, talk to Howard or come and talk to me. Not every driver gets along with their instructor 100% of the time. If you find that you're having a problem, come talk to one of us. We'll get it squared away. Okay? Richard?
For those that have never had their cars out on a racetrack before, you will probably find that you have never run your car as hard or as long as you will on a racetrack tomorrow, later in the day. You might want to think, you know, even though your car's been teched in the morning, after you get off course, pop the hood, look around, see if you've got leaks. You'll probably notice driving the car if it, you know, feels different to you. But, you know, pop the hood, look around, see if you got any kind of, you know, coolant leaks or oil leaks or whatnot that may not, you know, have come about during normal street driving. That's it.
Okay, 1 minute warning. Thank you all very much, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you. Any questions? Any questions? Before you go, flip over your pamphlets. 2 of them have a star on the back or a little orange dot. Orange dot. 2 of them have an orange dot on the back.
I want to thank everyone.
There is a meeting in process right now being run by Ron Tanner in relationship to going out at noon.
Quiet, Webb.
So if you're supposed to be there, you better.
I want to thank everyone for coming out and participating and helping with this very, very, very successful school. Fortunately, we got our order in early enough to get good weather and somebody listened. And this is great. We've got a super day out here. I want to give the people that helped with the school an opportunity to take I want to give the licensed drivers of the people that were helped with the school today an opportunity to go out and drive for, you know, 45, 50 minutes out on the track. So I'll hold this real short. Passing on the back straight and the front straight. Perfect. Only. Okay, unless you're waved by and you can do it under a lot of control.
Okay, last night we were at North House Restaurant for a ground school, and the ground school covers all the rules and regulations, do's and don'ts, and all the theory behind the driving school. Today is our practical application day. Everybody comes out here and tries to practice what they learned last night. Earlier today, we did a track walk around P.I.R. It was you walk the track. Most any good race driver will tell you that anytime he goes to a track, he walks it. Well, that's what we do here, and take the students around the track, walk them around the track, show them where they need to be, show them why they need to do what they're supposed to do. Quite an informative session, and I think that all the students here, you know, have really benefited. We're at the lunch break right now, and we've got 2 sessions to go this afternoon. So hopefully by the time this is over with, we'll have some real positive results from all these students. We'll be talking with them a little later in the day today. Okay, we're starting to walk into turn number 1 here. We're at shutoff marker number 4. Coming in here, you want to be on the left side of the track here. about 6 inches to a foot from the white line here. You'll be about marker 3 here. You'll want to start stepping on the brakes, squeeze the brakes on gently, and then get on them really hard so you get most of your speed scrubbed off by marker 1 here, where you start your turn in. Okay, we're just coming up to marker 1 here. The car will want to get set up to start turning in here. We will should be done with our braking right now, and if you want to do any trail braking, this would be the place to start doing that. You should be able to start turning in just right now. The car should be heading for the inside apex of the corner right now. We're going to start walking down towards that here. Okay, we should be bringing the car right down here, just as I'm walking here, coming down fairly close to the yellow FIA curbing. Right about here, the car should be about 6 inches to a foot away from the curbing, right in this area here. Once you turn the steering wheel in here, if you do it properly, you should never have to turn the steering wheel again. You just merely set the car and it'll go around this complete series of corners. We're coming up on turn 1A at the moment here. Again, if you do this properly, which really isn't that hard to do once you get used to it, you can just merely turn the steering wheel a small amount and the car will go completely through this series of corners. In our cars, this is a high gear corner. You're probably going about 75 to maybe 80 miles an hour through this section of the track. Okay, we're just approaching the apex to turn 1A here. It's depicted by a cone. Car generally will want to carry, you're carrying enough speed here that you'll be approximately 2 feet away from this curbing. If you get any more than that, you have a serious problem here, and in the fact that you can fly right off the outside of turn 2 here. Okay, we're just starting to approach the entrance to turn 2 here. Okay, because you come out of turn 2, the car is going to just want to head right over here towards the left side of the track. You're going to head, it's just going to want to go right off the track, as witnessed here by all the grass and debris that's on the track. Okay, as the car comes out, the natural tendency for the car to go over to the left here. And then as it does, as you can, don't pinch the car. Just gently, as the car starts to settle itself coming out of the corner, then pull it back to the right side of the track. And then just pull the car back over to the right side of the track here and start setting it up for turn 3 here. Now 3 is not a particularly important corner. You can fudge a little bit on this corner. If you don't make it right, that's okay. It doesn't make any difference. Virtually no one can pass you in here unless you totally screw up. It's just not a real important corner.
If you're way out wide like this,
but you want to stay someplace over in here. You don't need to go clear to the edge of the track. It's just not important.
That'll hold those guys behind.
Right. Somebody will try. You're pretty screwed up in V's. It's just unless you really do something wrong, you're not going to get past in here. But I usually take a little bit of a kind of an early apex here because it really just isn't that important. Okay, here's the apex right here, and as you catch the apex, obviously the tendency of the car is to head right off the track here. If you take the proper set on the steering wheel, the car, you just turn the steering wheel once, you don't have to turn it again. The car will just come out. It'll come out right over here. You will be fairly close to the edge of the track too. There's no question about that. The car will be close to the edge of the track, but as the car comes out, as it gets settled, in other words, the car comes out, you feel the car settle itself. Once it settles itself, then you can kind of gently aim it back over to the left side. Don't pull on the steering wheel to get it back over, because every time you do that, you scrub speed off. And yeah, if you do it right, if you notice what we were doing in the earlier session, when I come out of this, I turn the steering, just keep the steering wheel turned just a little bit, and the car comes out perfectly straight. It comes out and it's aimed right for that cone, the entry cone going into 4. So this is the second most important corner right coming up here, turn 4. This leads onto the back straightaway, and obviously that is the key to your straightaway speed. So under really good conditions, you can go through this corner flat out in 3rd gear without lifting. Today happens to be one of those days that you probably can't do that, but under good conditions with a track well prepared, you can come into this corner and don't even lift. Just go over to the edge, 3rd gear, 7,000 RPM, and make it through the corner without crashing. And you can you can do it. I've done it. It's you're a little nervous. The adrenaline starts to flow when you do this, but it can be done. When we set the qualifying record at Rose Cup a couple of years ago, that's what I was doing to set the record. Okay. As you can see, you want to be clear over here. Don't drive off the edge of the track. And then start driving down into the corner. This is a very deceptive corner because you keep thinking that you're going to see the apex on this side. It's not. And it's just something you just got to learn how to do this. There's no real easy way. This is a fairly difficult corner. It's a lot more difficult than what it actually looks like. But it is the key to a lot of speed down the back straightaway. So, right, it's real important to stay down on the inside. What you're doing is you're driving like 3 feet away here. You're straddling this cement patch that's right here.
So I should already be over here before this patch.
You should be right down on the inside, right here.
Okay.
That is for your outside tires to be on. That's your outside tires should be on that.
Outside. Okay.
Outside, not inside. Outside.
All right.
And as you come out of here, you can just look at the line here and see that where the car is going to want to go. We're coming down the back straightaway now, and we're just entering the braking zone for turn number 7. This track has been modified quite a bit over the years. Here on the right, we have a pretty good cement retaining wall and a real big catch fence. And actually, I remember some years ago, before this was as good as it was, we fished a Corvette out of the little lagoon down here, and quite interesting, which prompted them to put this extremely large catch fence in here. This back straightaway, as they call it, really isn't straight. It's kind of got a slight bend to it, although it is flat out in any kind of a racing car that would run here, be it an Indy car or an IMSA GTP car. It's like 160, 165 mile an hour back straightaway. We're just, like I said, we're just coming to turn 7 here. Normally in the type of vehicles that we run, marker 2 here, we've kind of started to shut the car down a little bit, and by marker 1 we're usually starting to turn into the corner here. We'll get up here a little ways and get a little better view of this. We're just coming into turn 7 here. We would be, I'm walking the line we'd be taking. We'd be coming right down here and coming right up on the curbing here. Now they've added some little bumps here to the upper edge of this curbing. It used to be the fast way around was to put the 2 wheels on the outside of the curb in the grass, and that would tend to hold you, but you can't do that anymore. Okay, as we come out of here, this series of corners is known as the, used to be known as the circus. And done properly, a race car can carry a tremendous amount of speed through here. This is, in our cars, flat out in high gear. We're coming into turn 8 here. The pylon in front of us is the apex to turn 8. Turn 8 curbing here you do not want to touch because it will definitely spit you off into the grass on the outside of the turn, or it'll take and disrupt the race car to the point where your entry to turn 9 will be messed up, and you will probably miss your braking area, go off the track, whatever. Very critical here. Okay, now as we're going through, coming out of 8 here, the natural tendency for the race car is to drift to the outside here. We get a quick shot here of the outside of the track. One can see that you don't want to go off. We have a lot of mud out here, and if you do go off, the moment the race car gets in the mud or the wet grass, it speeds up, and there's no way to stop it before going into the Armco or the tire barriers over there. Done properly, you'll come out, and we're just going into the entry to the pits here. You'll have 2 wheels over the white line in the pit entry road. As the race car comes out of this corner and settles down, you're going to get on the brakes right about here, and you're going to get on very, very hard to get the car slowed down to get it set up for turn 9 here. Turn 9 is the most important corner on this racetrack. It leads onto the front straightaway where your maximum speed is. It requires you to go down a gear here. We go down into 3rd gear for this corner, and you'd start accelerating right here, flat on the floor in 3rd gear. The car generally will hold the acceleration without spinning the back tires, and start down into turn 9. We have a lot of traffic today. Okay, this cone depicts the apex of turn 9. It's very important that you've got good acceleration on the vehicle at this point, so you can carry a lot of speed out of here. The car's natural tendency will be to drift to the outside here. As we can see up here, there's a tire wall that gets pretty close to the edge of the track. There's some cones and another yellow area. If you drop a wheel off coming out of this, you're going to be in the tire wall. It's just as simple as that. The cones try to keep people away from this edge. When we have a real race on, these cones aren't here, and generally we do use part of this yellow area. If you're carrying enough speed, you're going to have 2 wheels in the yellow. You come within about a foot of the end of the tire wall here. Okay, this tire wall has eaten a lot of race cars in its time. The tires actually are quite forgiving. It doesn't hurt a race car nearly as much to hit the tire wall as it would if there was no tires here and they rammed into the Armco. So we look down the front straightaway here. You can see just the length of this is a very, very long straightaway, and like Indy cars, GTP cars, and things like that get up to an area of 180, 190 miles an hour in the straightaway. So it's a good long straightaway. You carry a lot of speed down it. This is Frank Mahoney's Racer Profile. I'm your host, Jess Heitman, and we're here, we're going to take an interview with Pat, who drives this really beautiful red Porsche here, and we're going to find out a little bit about him and his car. So follow us. Pat, this is really a beautiful car you have here. Could you tell us a little bit about it?
Oh, thank you. It's a 1988 Porsche 930. It's turbocharged wonderful brakes, and it goes like the dickens. It's a beautiful car, beautifully crafted car. Kind of something I've always dreamt about having.
Well, that's very nice. It's absolutely a gorgeous car. What brings you out here to the driving school?
Well, I've had the car for about 3 years. I'm a rank amateur. I've never raced in my life. Never really had I love to watch it, but I never really had a desire to get behind the wheel and race a car. I did want to learn a lot more about the automobile itself, and this is providing that opportunity. I wanted to learn about handling an automobile so that I can safely handle it, and this provides that kind of opportunity for me too.
Well, that's wonderful. Do you think you've really learned anything this weekend?
I've learned a ton. I feel like a computer. At this point in time, just trying to keep track of it is very difficult. I can see where it's as in anything in life. You do it over and over and over again, and you may get it pretty good. And I'm going to have to do it a lot more. But there's a lot to learn. It's far more sophisticated, and it's far more complex than I ever dreamt that it was.
Well, that's wonderful. Have you ever thought of, ever had any aspirations of racing or anything like that?
Actually, I haven't. Now I'm kind of excited. I don't know. And at this stage of my life, whether or not I could race, I know my son is interested in racing. I think I wouldn't mind, learning enough to get out there and race a bit would be okay. And to watch my son go for it, that would be kind of neat.
Well, that's really neat. I know I have a daughter that I introduced her into racing, and she's driven a Formula V several times, and she's done quite well for herself. But I guess the bottom line here, we are having fun, are we not?
Oh, we're having a load of fun. This is a joy. In this country, really, Americans really don't get enough good driver training, and this is what it's all about. A good, safe way to operate your vehicle, learn about the vehicle, and learn about yourself.
How you doing? A lot of you know me. My name is Sean. I work for Race Central. That's as far as the commercial needs to go. Actually, I'm here to kind of educate you on what you need to do if you plan on going racing. You're going to be all hyped up tomorrow. You're going to come off the course. You're going to go down the freeway at 55. Yeah, I know, right? But anyway, you're going to go home at a slower rate at your speed, and you're going to just think, man, I'm jazzed. I'm ready to go racing. Well, I'm here to kind of introduce you to a little bit of the realities of racing and what it's going to cost you to go racing and what's required of you. We're going to start with your basics, and we'll start at the head and work ourselves down. When you enter racing, you got to have a helmet. And by all means, when I talk about parts, there's always a good source of used parts out there. One thing I always recommend to people that are just getting into racing, start hanging out at the track, start talking to your instructor, start talking to other instructors. There's a couple different just kind of families within one big family out there at the track. You will fit in with somebody. You'll be gathered in, and amongst the 3 or 4 big little families, we're all one big family. The one thing you'll have a hard time is once you get someone talking about their race car, they won't shut up. So you got to kind of watch that. But everybody's real helpful out there. Don't be afraid to ask questions. If you're looking at something and the guy's not thrashing to get on the track, he's more than happy to talk to you about it. You might consider volunteering your time either turn working, maybe talking to some of the instructors, crewing for some people for a little while, and kind of get the feel of it and see what you're up against and what's going on. The idea of going out and running a Trans Am car your first year is great, but the reality of it is you need a nice, smooth, reliable car and just concentrate on your driving for your first year. A lot of your entry-level cars, Datsuns, Rabbits, BMWs, that's the way to go. Work yourself up to the Formula Fords, the Sports 2000s, and the Trans Am type cars. Give you time and money ahead. Back to gear. We've got to start off with a helmet. If you're looking at new or used, what you need is an SFI, specified helmet, or Snell approved. Inside your helmet, you'll find a sticker. An M rating helmet is for motorcycles. The main difference is the lining. Theirs is nylon. What you're looking for is an SA rated helmet, which has a Nomex lining for fire protection. One thing I want to bring up, nothing in this world is fireproof. It has got fire retardant. They've soaked it with something, they've created it, but nothing in this world is fireproof. So get that out of your mind. You want to protect yourself as best as possible. Currently, right now, you're allowed an SA85 helmet. That'll change within the next year, and you'll be required to have an SA90 helmet. So if someone's got a great deal on SA85, pass on it, because it will be no good in about a year. Something like this, you're starting off with an open face helmet. For those of you taking notes, you'll start off at about $155 and go anywhere to what the IndyCar drivers wear, which is about $700. For those of you that wear facial hair like myself, either a mustache or a beard, you're required to have what's called a balaclava or a head sock. These can run you anywhere from $19 to $42. It's a good idea, even though if you don't have facial hair, to get in the habit of wearing this. It can buy you a few extra seconds of time. I'm going to work down and get into suits. And this is something where you can either save some money or you can go out and buy new. A basic multi-layer suit, and I'm going to pass some of this stuff around. Start passing out that way, will you, Bobby? Your suit, your main important thing you're looking for. Yeah, I know about you, Bob. Remember, I have the keys to your van still. Yeah. Definitely remember. What you want to look for, if you're looking for a used gear or something which is out there, is this SFI tag on the sleeve. The most important number that you're going to concern with is a slash. There's either going to be a 1, a 5, or a 10. 1 is the least amount of rating, and a 1 will get you about 3.5 seconds worth of safety. And what they use for kind of a standard is you have 1800 to 2100 degrees in a gas fire, and it's going to protect you from second-degree burns is the standard that they're looking at. This suit here would approximately buy you 9.5 seconds worth of time without underwear. This is a 2-layer suit. With underwear, this suit would get you about 14 to maybe 15 seconds worth of time. If you find a suit that doesn't have an SFI tag, it has an FIA tag. What that is the European specification tag, and they just missed getting an SFI 10, so basically they're considered an SF5. Your FIA suits, like an OMP, something like that, they use a lot of Kevlar in their suits to make them light. It's like what your Formula 1 and your IndyCar guys drive, and you're getting up into the $600–700 range for a suit like that. Something like this runs about $4–4.5. I'll pass that way, Bob.
Selling for $5.
Yeah, right. Moving on to your hands, gloves. It is perfectly legal to have all leather gloves. Stick a lighter next to your leather gloves sometimes and see what happens. Now, I admit all my gloves are leather palmed, but they are Nomex, and you will find Nomex against your palm also. One thing dealing with safety equipment, try it on, look at it tight, buy a reputable company and look for what's called an SFI tag. That means it's passed. Wait, one that way, one that way. That way I get them back.
Maybe.
Guy in the middle
Guy in the middle of the room in the back.
If anybody has any questions in the meaning of this, just pop your hand up and go on. Shoes. You are allowed to use an all-leather shoe with a leather tongue. Gotta watch your tennies, folks, because what usually flunks a tennis shoe is a nylon tongue. I've seen a couple Reeboks, and I don't think I've ever seen any Nikes that have a leather tongue. That's what makes the hot shoe legal for racing, because it has a leather tongue. Most of your regular racing shoes like Bell Motorsports, Racequip, Simpson, all use a leather suede shoe with Nomex lining. I'll start that one that way. Basically, the market's open from there. You're looking at anywhere from a racing shoe that's priced from $80 to $135. Underneath your shoes, you got to have Nomex socks, just like your head sock. You might notice that's clean, something you haven't ever seen before. One thing I did forget to mention here, one way to get away from having your to wear a balaclava is to use what's called a helmet sock. It's something that wraps around the base of your helmet, attaches with Velcro. It is also made of Nomex, and for those that you feel claustrophobic, you just don't care for the feel of the sock over your head, you can use what's called the helmet skirt, and you can get away from the balaclava. Sorry about that. One other thing for people that are using open wheel car, something to think about safety wise, runs about $15, is a helmet restraint. Keeps your head from going back and forth, uses a standard D-ring, and this helmet's not equipped with it, comes in a kit. You put your D-ring in here and you attach it to your roll bar. For those people also in open wheel car, you're going to be required by SCCA, Sovereign. I'm not sure on conference on this, but open cars have got to have arm restraints.
Open cockpit.
Open cockpit, even in conference?
Yeah.
I'm not up on that yet. You can either have it built into your suit, or you can use these that go around the car. In an open wheel car, you start tumbling. These keep your hands with your belts and keep them hopefully from going outside the car, and you crush your arms. Bob? Whoever's in the middle, I want all my gear back. One thing they pointed upon when they were talking about is if you can't, if you're not sitting planted in your seat, you're over here, you're over here. You got to have a good seat and belts, or you won't be fast. You got to be tight. You can't worry about sliding left, sliding right. You got to always have a good set of belts. Basically, what you have to have is a 5-point system. You must have a 3-inch lap belt. 3 inches is what's determined is by the width. There's a variety of makes, models. If you plan on, the only one that recommends it now is SCCA national events have to have also what's been called the SFI tag. I can find it on the.
Almost had it.
Almost had it?
Down there.
Which is right here, and they're dated. Now when I get them at work, we get them in dated a couple months ahead of time. So when you come in and it's February and you see my belts dated in June of this year, it's not that they're almost expired, that is when the date starts. If you plan on running any kind of national event, your belts, nets, have to be within 5 years. And they just started implementing that in there. Your shoulder harnesses have to be individual with one left, one right. You cannot use what is commonly called a Y belt, where both your shoulders come into one and tie into one place. If something should happen in your car, the one bolt that holds your shoulder harnesses fails, then you have no shoulder harnesses. That's the reason why they want you to have individual shoulder harnesses. The finishing part of your belt set will be a sub belt that goes in your crotch. It's always been recommended you never wear this very tight. Formula car drivers, you have to have what's called a 6-point, and that carries 2 sub belts. Now you know why those guys are so squeaky.
Honestly, the center one, the crotch belt, the sub belt, whatever you want to call it, that's mostly important for actually pulling your lap belt back down into position where it belongs, because when you tighten your shoulder harness, it's going to pull your seat belt up, your lap belt up, And you don't want it up off your hips. That belt's supposed to go across your hips. Anywhere else, and it'll probably hurt you rather than save you.
And also when you get into it, when you mount your belts, consult your roll book. One thing you never want to do is you want to use your crossbar and your roll bar to use your belts. If you're bolting to the floor, the back shelf, you want to use that cross brace to go across your back. Now if you're taking a seat like this and you're sitting in it, and I've got belts just going over my shoulder and nothing else, you can compress your back and do some vertebrae damage and some spinal damage. You want to use your back bar, consult your roll book, and also look at the directions inside the belt. A couple other things they offer is you can use a neck collar for back and forth in your head. You can install them on your belts. You can put pads on your belts. There's a variety of things to do to make them more comfortable as they get tighter. Also consider when you're in your car, your seating, your belts, your wheel. You want to be the most comfortable. When you're going around a corner at 80, 90 miles an hour, you don't want to be sliding once again. You want to keep it all focused. You don't want to move. You don't want to use this as a grip handle to hold you in your seat. This has got another function, and that's steering the car only, not to hold you in the seat. So one of the things you consider when you get into racing, comfortable. Get a seat that fits you, you're comfortable in, it's not going to rub your shoulders, because trust me, even though in the heat of the battle, you know, within a half hour you can start getting distractions, and it will bug you and it will take you offline. So that basically covers all your personal gear. We can get into a little bit of a cars, but we're kind of short on time. If you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them. I'm going to be out there helping some friends of mine tomorrow. 2 red, white, and blue Datsuns. I'm going to be crewing for them this year. If you have any questions, pull me on the side. I'd be happy to talk to you. Like I say, you know, you're entering in a really fun sport. There's good people out there in the track. Just don't hesitate to ask. You know, that's one of the things that's good about racing is we're all one big family. I've seen the best competitor in H production get taken out in practice, and all his competitors will make sure he makes the race. Because without beating the best, it's a hollow victory, and that's the way they feel out there. Anyway, y'all have good fun tomorrow. See you out there. If you have any questions, holler at me. Thanks for your time.